Hello guys, it is Modest Major here, bringing you some commentary over a 25-0 untouchable gameplay. It is on Infinity Slayer on the map Haven. Pretty darn good scoreline, not trying to boast, but I'm just saying it's probably my best scoreline I've ever gotten. But at the same time, I have to say that the gameplay itself is not something so spectacular. I mean, it's a pretty decent gameplay, but I think we just managed to get the score by our team having a more, just more expertise of how spawns work on Haven and not, knowing not to rush into the wrong areas at the wrong times. The enemy team wasn't exactly the most, knowledgeable team I've played against. They were making mistakes that only newer players would make. So it's not something I'd say, yo, you gotta check out my channel and watch this video, because this gameplay is insane. Although I do like the scoreline, I'm not gonna lie. I can't help but enjoy a good scoreline, especially as it's flawless. I don't necessarily get too many flawlesses. I think what really manages to pull me through this gameplay is the close range weapon combat. I managed to pick up a scatter shot at one point, a shotgun at one point, and a saw at one point. And I think these weapons really carry me through the gameplay. It's something that I've wanted to talk about for a while, is close range power weapons really having an advantage in carrying you through a gameplay, like trying to get the best scores. Because you can dictate the flow of combat, you can go into situations that you wouldn't normally be able to go into otherwise, because you have this get out clause in that you can just pull out a shotgun at a random opportunity. And it also stops people from being aggressive to you, because they see the shotgun in your hand, they see the damage you're wielding, and they can't necessarily be as aggressive towards you as they would like to be. So it basically gives you an upper hand just from the get-go, and I like that. I mean, something like a sniper rifle, although you do have the one-hit kill potential as a advantage, there's more baggage with a sniper rifle, because there's more potential things that could go wrong. You have to make sure you're being as precise as possible. When someone's getting in your face, you might get a little bit overwhelmed, and you might not necessarily be able to perform with the sniper as well as you'd want to. And you have to worry about people getting in your face, whereas shotgun, it's just like if people try and push you too hard, you just put your foot down and go, no, says the man. That's a Bioshock reference there. But what I really wanted to talk to you guys today was about the idea of perfectionism. Seeing as this is a perfection gameplay, I thought it might be a semi-decent segue. Not really, but still, there you go. And how perfectionism can be a damaging concept, both in the working world and stuff like YouTube, making YouTube videos. And how I've seen it time and time again affect people's work ethic. And you're probably thinking, well, how is perfectionism a bad thing? Wanting to create the best project possible is not a, bad thing. Wanting to be as good as you physically can, that's surely aiming high. Aiming high is always seen as a good thing. It can be, but the problem is, what a lot of people have is that they see something in their head, and they want the project to be as good as they see this in their head. But they're so worried about one little piece of the project falling that they find it even hard to follow through with their commitments. And it's something you see a lot in the YouTube editing community, the montage editing, is that a lot of montage makers, they have an idea in their head, they compare themselves against other editors, and they know that what they can do, they have an idea of what they themselves can produce. And if it's anything less than what they think they are physically able to accomplish, then they feel severely disappointed. And what you see in that community is a lot of scrapped edits. You see a lot of reworking. You see a lot of delays, in time delays. I'm sure you've seen it yourself if you've followed montages to any degree. These great montage makers who make out of the box concepts and really innovative montages. I mean, I knew a friend by the name of Esteem who used to create some of the best montages I've ever seen on YouTube, period. But the problem with him was that he would commit to a project, he'd do such a great job of it, but if one little piece faltered, he knew he couldn't live with himself. It was like, oh god, I know this isn't as good as I thought it to be originally, and then he ends up delaying the montage or not even releasing it to begin with, and it's really depressing. I think what people look for in terms of, and you see this in the working world as well, someone who is good on paper, has a great CV, and they speak well for themselves in an interview, might not necessarily be the best worker in their field, because they're too busy trying to concentrate on producing the best work possible instead of actually getting the work out. I mean, a lot of the time, a lot of YouTubers, a lot of the biggest YouTubers are not necessarily come up with the best videos time and time again, but what they do is they actively produce, reasonable content, you know, good content videos. It might not be the best, it might not be the most innovative, but they're reliable, and that's something you need on YouTube. It's something I would give any YouTuber advice, and it's something that I've tried to take in the direction of my channel, is that I don't commit to projects that I know I would worry about too much, you know, like some sort of huge undertaking that I know I would want to make as good as I physically could, but I wouldn't be happy if it wasn't as good as I wanted to. So I just stick to the gameplay commentary format in order to not push myself to limits that I won't be able to handle without going insane. I hope you can kind of relate to this commentary, and I hope you see where I come from. I have been Modest Major. I hope you enjoyed watching the commentary. Peace out.